Hello and welcome back. I'll be making a gravity-powered catapult today called the Trebuchet here on the Jasa channel. I can hold a building together forever or disassemble it quickly, but I'm mostly used in the kitchen. What am I? This was a riddle I posted a month ago for clues to the next 3 videos. This is video number 3, a traditional mortar type weapon. The second one was bricks and mortar, and the kitchen clue was mortar and pestle. And so 3 separate projects that all relate to mortar. And I know a trebuchet isn't the first thing you'd think of when you say mortar weapon, but I'm done using black powder for now. I've used fireworks in several videos, including the glass cannon, which probably best relates to this video here. But now that I've blown out a sphere, I'm going to go ahead and open it up a little bit with my Jack's tool, and then open it up some more, spinning it in the flame. This is a more traditional method of opening up your bubbles into cups, goblets, or even plates. Using the centrifugal force to pull the glass outward and the flame to keep the glass molten at the same time. Now that I have a small cup, I'll attach a rod to act as the lever or the arm for the catapult. A longer arm should give me a mechanical advantage to speed up the cup even faster. Traditionally, instead of a cup or a basket, we'll actually use a sling attached to a long rope. This not only lengthens the lever, making the object travel even faster, but does so without adding a lot of extra weight, by using a lighter weight rope than trying to physically extend the lever with a solid material. And now I'll go ahead and heat up a small area and push it down onto this graphite rod. This will create a little hinge or an arc, which the lever will use to pivot when I set it on the stand. That should help the lever pivot back and forth. But just that might not be enough to keep the lever from flying off the catapult, so I'll have to test that later. I also made a second one, but with a shorter arm, to see if that longer lever really does help accelerate the object. And now this is actually my first attempt at the trebuchet. I haven't even tested anything yet, so I don't know how this will work. My design is based on simplicity. The minimum amount needed to have the functioning result in order to be an efficient educational aid. For example, one requirement of my design was to make it a 3-legged trebuchet. During my research, I noticed that all the trebuchets have at least 4 legs. From an engineering perspective, this definitely makes sense, as you're normally working with an axle, so you think, how do I support the 2 sides, but with 2 more sides? However, in a 3-dimensional world, you only need 3 legs to balance upright, like a tripod. Overall, that wouldn't affect the functionality of the catapult, but just an example of designing more simple for efficiency's sake. Adding extra complexity, which isn't necessary for the design, is often called over-engineering. So I try to under-engineer, along with using clear glass to give you a very transparent example of what's going on. And now to figure out what's going on with your work, you'll always have to look at it at multiple angles, which is difficult as it's still molten, and so you have to look to see if it needs to be adjusted a certain way before it completely solidifies. Overall, it just takes practice. You can definitely prepare with the right information and the right tools. But practice is the main thing that helps you move ahead and become more skilled. I've been practicing my Opal encasements lately, and I've gotten some pretty clean results. I like to include a small encased opal on a lot of my projects, and I'm also working on my first official line of pendants. We'll each have either a black or white opal. I'll have to take some extra time to make a few before I list them for sale, but I just wanted to give you a heads up now. So I put a white opal on the end of the small hook, and I'll put a black opal on the end of the long one. These hooks will hold the weight in which falls towards gravity, pivoting the lever off the stand and propelling the object in the basket forward. I'll carefully place it in my kiln and then encase an opal to make a small marble to propel from the catapult. I started out with a small gather of glass at the end of the tube to help protect the opal. I'll start heating the gather while sucking air out of the tube. This should help pull the glass up and around the opal. It's good to think of the tube as more of a straw, and you're trying to suck up a thick milkshake. And so the end goal is to completely encase the opal in glass without trapping any air bubbles or discoloring the gem. It can be a bit difficult. It's common to trap an air bubble or two. I've got a very large one on this white opal, but besides that, look at all this beautiful color. But now, personally, my favorite is the black opal. They seem to flash more of a full spectrum of color. I often call them frozen rainbows, since the water inside the opal bends light similar to a rainbow. And now I'll go ahead and set up the trebuchet. I'm not sure if the arm is going to hold in place. I'm going to test it now. Oh yeah, I'm definitely going to need to attach some rope. Maybe if the groove for the hinge was a little deeper, or maybe a small hook under the lever to help hold it in place. It seems to be working. I'm starting out kind of slow, that way I don't break it. And now it's time to run the test. All right, well, it worked kind of. It didn't quite clear the catapult, but now it's time to test the long arm. All right, here comes full power. It looked like it was flying a little farther to me, but let's check the replay, and I'll let you decide in the comments below. So I took the long arm lever back to the shop for one slight modification. I raised the hook so the weight will fall a little further and shaped it so it won't slide forward. It's time to mortar my glass mortar with the trebuchet. Oh, what was that? Yes! If you've enjoyed this video on the glass catapult, make sure to hit the like button. Also, don't forget to subscribe to find your way back. Coming up will be the Jasa candle, a secret oil lamp design I invented a few years ago. So I've been waiting a long time for this one. Make sure to tune in to the Jasa channel.